Welcome back. Right now, Hurricane Hermine is slowly moving toward Florida, expected to make landfall early tomorrow morning.
ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with the latest on the hurricane. Bob?
Well, it's interesting to note Hurricane Hermine now has winds up to 75, could go as high as 80 before making landfall, making it the first hurricane to hit the Sunshine State since 2005 when Wilma moved through near Marco Island and eventually causing all sorts of headaches along the east coast of Florida as it worked its way across the state. But this one, a different story. It's going to be on the western part of the state, and then it's going to hit off toward the eastern part of the state tomorrow. You can see there's a one feeder band right here producing some wicked weather to the north of us. There are tornado warnings now for Pasco and Hernando counties. And as this line is now moving into Anna Maria, I know we have some reporters out there. Well, Beth is there. She said it's calm right now, but things are going to change there pretty rapidly within the next, I would say, half hour to hour as this line kind of works its way in that direction. The rainfall rate within this one line is over 2 inches an hour, and it will set up a little bit of training effect that will go along and could cause some additional flooding problems throughout that region. Now, as far as the overall picture goes, another band is developing, and this is a developing system. So as this gets stronger, I think, through the night, we're going to see these bands get a little bit stronger as well. I mentioned that tornado warning now in effect for Pasco and Hernando counties. This is where the couplet is now located, right there, US 41, and it's moving northward towards Spring Hill. The tornado warning in effect now for that area. That just popped up within the last 5 minutes or so. We are under a tropical storm warning all the way down to Englewood. The inland areas are not, but we could still see tropical storm force winds through this evening, subsiding somewhat after 10. The flood watch remains in effect. As we alluded to, the tornado watch is not for us, but I would suspect that we will see a few isolated tornadoes still possible as these lines move in overnight. And looks like things will slowly improve as we get to the weekend. We'll have much more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The city of Venice is dealing with flooding and high waves crashing onto the Venice jetties.
Both the north and south side of the jetties have been closed. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is joining us now live with the latest on the conditions there. Christopher.
Well, Scott and Haley, good evening from the South Jetty where we are right now. The weather has really calmed down quite a bit over the last couple of hours. We were out here early afternoon and the wind was kicking so hard it was hard to stand at some times, but right now it's really calmed down quite a bit. You can see the waves still crashing over the jetty wall, so they do have these barriers set up right now so that no one will go into what is usually a parking lot. It is now really just a part of the Gulf of Mexico. There's so much standing water over there. I want to move the camera around a little bit here and show you just on the other side from where we are, on the north side of the jetties. You can see dozens of people are out on the beach. Just in front of that pickup truck, which is the beach patrol, is the north side of the jetty. It has been closed off. But several people out there on the beach right now. We did talk to several residents who were out here today who said they haven't seen any rain or wind like they have seen over the last several days. For the second day, the south side of the Venice jetties is closed off to the public. Waves crashing higher than David and Kathleen Hollenbeck have ever seen.
This is really severe this morning.
We come down here at least 2 or 3 times a month to have a hot dog at our favorite stand, watch the people, meet people. Never.
The Hollenbecks enjoy watching the waves, but they don't enjoy the wind.
We live in a little mobile home, so we're always very cautious because if a heavy wind came like a hurricane, our mobile home would be in Kansas.
On the north side of the jetty, heavy winds and high waves made for happy surfers, despite the signs saying not to swim. In the early afternoon, as high tide rolled in, the jetty was closed. Have you ever seen it like this before?
Not quite this much, no.
Gup Kramer lives in Nokomis. He was out on the North Jetty Beach today, envious of the surfers.
It's just a really nice view to see all the waves rolling in. The sound of the ocean, nobody grows tired of that, right?
Kramer said he's not growing tired of the bad weather either.
The power of the ocean and the wind and the sky and the beauty and the sound, it's pretty amazing.
And again, both the north and south sides of the jetties are closed at this point. If you go to the north side, the beach is still open, but those red flags are still flying, asking people to stay out of the water, although I can still see several surfers in the water right now on the north side. Both sides, the north and south, are expected to remain closed until officials can deem it safe to be close to the water. Reporting live on the South Jetty in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. A woman is hurt while standing on the North Jetty in Venice. Witnesses say she was watching surfers as lifeguards were telling her to get off the jetty. That's when a giant swell came over the rocks and knocked her down. Dale Wild, who was visiting her mother in Nokomis, captured the entire incident in these photos. The woman was rescued from the water by a nearby surfer who brought her back to the jetty. She was then treated by EMS crews for cuts to her legs.
A few people are out on Siesta Beach this evening watching these giant waves that we don't usually see on the West Coast. The surf is kicked up. A huge stretch of the sand is now covered with water. Most people seem to be staying out of the water, although we don't necessarily recommend you be out on the beach either because there are dangerous conditions. And then check out these pictures of Siesta Beach. One of our viewers, Cindy Desmond, sent us from earlier today. You can see the dark clouds at the beach, the water covering most of the sand well past the lifeguard stands. You can see this weather happen, and if you are safe, please take a picture and send it to us. Just send them to pics, P-I-X, at mysuncoast.com.
In Sarasota County, a stretch of North Casey Key Road is closed. Meantime, other roads are experiencing unexpected flooding now that Philippi Creek is nearing even overflowing its banks in some areas. County staff says areas like the southbound lanes of McIntosh Road near Bay Vista are likely to hold water now that there's nowhere for that water to drain. Flooding caused several near misses for cars earlier today that brought out both Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies and county staff to direct traffic near the blind turn over the bridge that spans Philippi Creek. Those who live in that area say they haven't seen flooding like this since the celery fields were expanded to mitigate flooding more than a decade ago. Deputies are monitoring flooded roadways and are telling drivers to avoid roads where there's no visibility beneath the water.
We have our traffic units that are available as resources to respond. If anybody sees anything that they consider to be a safety concern, they can call the sheriff's office and let us know. We'll come out, we'll evaluate it and determine whether or not we need to do anything about it.
Last night I went through one and my battery light came on because the water was so deep and there was already another car, but I didn't have a choice. You have to get home. So.
Sarasota County stormwater staff continue to monitor the area. They say there's not much they can do once the rain starts back up again. Now, both Sarasota and Manatee counties are handing out sandbags once again today to help people protect their homes from flooding. In Sarasota County, sandbags are available at Newtown Estates Park, Twin Lakes Park, and the South County Fleet Facility in Venice. That's until 6 o'clock tonight, about 20 more minutes. In Manatee County, you can get sandbags at 5 locations, including Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton, and in Palmetto. Those sites will be open until 7 o'clock tonight if you need them. Despite the threatening weather, Sarasota County Public Schools will again be open tomorrow. Manatee County School District, which was closed today, will make a decision about classes tomorrow later this evening. We'll let you know when that happens.
Floridians are being warned to be on the lookout for storm-related scams so you don't get ripped off when buying supplies. The Attorney General's office has activated its price gouging hotline for people to call if they feel businesses are illegally raising prices. During a state of emergency, storm-related price increases on essentials like water, lumber, and generators are illegal, as is gas price gouging.
They should call our office immediately, and in the age of smartphones and cell phones, they should snap pictures of the prices. Let us know. The more information we have, the better we're able positioned to serve the public.
If you feel like you are the victim of price gouging, contact the Attorney General's hotline at 1-888-9-NO-SCAM.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, Donald Trump far from softening.
How supporters and opponents are reacting to the presidential nominee's tough immigration plan, which he laid out in a speech last night. That's next.
What does it mean when New South Window says factory direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Get ready, college football fans. When you buy a $5 or more Fantasy 5 ticket and enter your team's drawing, you could win great prizes like team merchandise, tickets to your team's games, and other bowl game experiences. You could even win a championship weekend prize pack in Tampa or $10,000 cash. Fantasy 5 from the Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Come uncork your inner artist at Painting with a Twist. Bring your favorite bottle of wine and appetizers and enjoy an evening out with friends to celebrate any special occasion. It's perfect for a girls' night out, birthday parties, or a fun date night. Painting with a Twist offers 2 or 3 hour classes that are instructed by local artists, and there is no experience required. We now have 2 convenient locations in Sarasota and Bradenton. Visit our website to view our calendar and schedule your next party today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
The torrential rain comes and leaves us, but contaminated water left behind may be hazardous to your health. ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us with how to avoid getting sick. Alex.
That's right, Haley. When you're out there wading through leftover rainwater, consider this. Garbage, sewer runoff, and fish are just a few contaminants you may come in contact with. First, the rain.
At the deepest point, it was a little over 2 feet deep.
Then safety measures.
We are still putting together a cleanup plan because we're going to have quite a mess as soon as the water all recedes.
This community in Bradenton is called Vista del Lago, which means view of the lake. But as you can see, the retention pond has actually overexceeded its borders, and now the waters are dangerously high and people are driving in it, walking their dogs in it, even playing it.
The storm drains, the county storm drains, were overwhelmed. About 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. From that point on, we started backflowing into the park, which overwhelmed our retention pond and then spilled over into the streets.
Maintenance manager Carl Walker says flooding can overwhelm lift stations that transfer mobile home waste into the sewer lines, mixing floodwater with the sewage.
We've had snakes, fish, catfish swimming right here at our feet, recycling materials that have come from people's recycle bins that were left out.
When you're walking in water like this, you need to come prepared with the proper equipment. These boots are about 18 inches high.
Boards with nails, all kinds of dangerous things that you don't want to be in the water with.
What they don't realize is the bacteria, the microbes, the germs that actually is inside this water.
As Dr. Albert Avila of the Center for Urgent Care examines this water sample from Vista del Lago, some contaminants are evident, some are not.
It looks to me like there's full of algae and bacteria, parasites.
All sorts of toxic ingredients, including fertilizers, are probably in this sample, says Dr. Avila.
It could be bacteria like E. coli, which is the runoff of stool.
And Dr. Avila explains contaminated water carries health risks, including conjunctivitis or pink eye and nausea if ingested.
If it ends up on an area of skin that is open, it can definitely get a severe infection that can, in some cases, lead to even an amputation if the patient has diabetes and an underlying medical condition or if they're immune compromised.
Walker of Vista del Lago is urging members of their community to take precautions and stay out of the water. And others may want to follow in his lead because many people may not be aware of the serious health consequences that water contamination presents. Back to you, Haley.
Thank you, Alex. Now we'll head over to Bob with the latest on Hermine.
Well, right now, let's look at the Anna Maria webcam, show you what's been going on. A lot of rain periodically throughout the day. Not as much as yesterday, but still over an inch added to the 10 inches they saw yesterday in parts of Anna Maria Island. And you can see that sky's starting to darken up there as of late. And as far as storm surge goes, get a look at this. I pulled this graphic up from the Port Manatee buoy and monitoring site there called Ports. And what you're looking at is the blue line is what we're normally expecting as far as high tide and low tide. We reached high tide, and it was happening just again right around 1 o'clock this afternoon, 2 o'clock, and you'll notice it was riding much higher. And still, it's coming down, but get a look at where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be right about, at about 1.5 feet, and it's still at 4 feet. So it's 2.5 feet above what it normally is right now. And that's the reason why we're seeing some of that flooding going on at some of the area docks. So running 2.5 feet above average right now. We've got another high tide at around 2 a.m., which is another 2 feet added to that. And on top of that, our winds will start to be more southwesterly, and that will cause that water to really pile up here along the coast. So the surge could be an issue for us. It's going to be up to 8 feet over parts of the Big Bend area and places to the east. 8-foot storm surge anticipated. That's as much as Hurricane Charlie generated down into the islands there as it made landfall into Lee County. Now, as far as we're concerned into Charlotte County, you can see the rotation here with some deep convection developing even on the back side of the system, indicating that we're probably going to have a 80-mile-an-hour storm with gusts as high as possibly 90 to 100 miles an hour making landfall late tonight or early morning. It looks like it could be early morning, but there's a chance it could be also late tonight. The fact is, though, we're going to continue to see these feeder bands moving on through. And with the ground saturated right now in Anna Maria, more flooding is likely there on some of the roadways to actually increase the flooding there as a result of the rainfall that is heading in there. The rainfall rates up to 1.5 inches to 2 inches right now starting to move in near Holmes Beach in the northern tip of Anna Maria. And you can see behind it, we'll have some relatively calm, followed by more storms developing after it. So this will happen, I think, through tonight and into the morning, eventually subsiding somewhat by midday tomorrow. But rainfall rates have been impressive in some areas into eastern portions of Manatee County, over 3 inches there over the past 24 hours. While the enhanced satellite and tropical satellite imagery showing the system getting better organized just in the last few frames there, with the darker reds showing up the stronger storms developing, but still a lot of nasty weather to the east. And that's the reason why the National Hurricane Center is now and has kept us in that tropical storm warning for parts of the Suncoast. 75-mile-an-hour winds making landfall into the early morning hours as a Category 1 storm with possibly 80-mile-an-hour winds, and then pushing off along the southeastern portion of Georgia into the Atlantic by, looks like, Saturday, and then kind of meandering around there. I mentioned all the warnings. These are all tropical storm warnings that you see there in the red, and then this magenta covering all the way down to the Big Bend is a hurricane warning, and that means the possibility of hurricane force winds exist in that particular region. For us, we should be out of the woods in terms of tropical storm force winds, at least this model indicating that, by about 1:30. Most of that should be to the north and east of us if the storm keeps its present track and moves along as we expect it to will. Rainfall could see an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain for parts of the Suncoast. That'll only add to the problem. I talked about this earlier. The wave heights are really gaining some strength here in the Gulf of Mexico and moving toward the coast. A 25-foot wave right there in the middle of it, at least estimated by some of the buoys there. Currently, we have mostly cloudy skies, 84 degrees. The dew point is at 79, and south winds sustained now at 23 miles an hour. The extended forecast, breezy conditions on Saturday. Will be windy on Friday. Again, winds out of the southwest at 15 to 25, gusts as high as 30 throughout the day on Friday. And then we subside on Saturday. It's still breezy, and then Sunday looking much better. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge is closed due to high winds, but no other accidents right now.
Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail a day after a quick trip to Mexico and a tough speech on immigration. The Republican presidential nominee, speaking before the American Legion in Ohio, promised to rebuild the military and promote patriotism in American schools. Last night in Phoenix, Trump put to rest any notion he was softening on immigration. Trump saying he would build a wall along the southern border and Mexico will pay for it. He also says he had a good visit with Mexico's president.
I want to again thank him for his gracious hospitality and express my belief that we can work together to accomplish great things for both countries. That's Mexico and the United States.
The Trump meeting, however, is turning out to be a public relations disaster for Mexico's president, who is now facing backlash.
Well, we talked about earlier that we were waiting for fall to get here so that we could eat some soup. Well, another sign that fall is on the way. We'll have that next.
Okay.
I'm Alan Cohn. Tropical storm Hermine felt here on the Suncoast. Roads are flooding, winds are high, and residents are taking precautions. We'll have live coverage.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
It's the first day of September, and despite a hurricane, there's a small sign of fall.
You can now get your hands on the popular Starbucks drink, the Pumpkin Spice Latte, but you have to use your PSL Fan Pass to get one early. That is until it officially launches on September 6th. The latte comes topped with a dash of pumpkin pie flavor, seasoned with cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and nutmeg. Sounds like fall.
It does. We'll be right back.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Civic for $174 and no down payment, just $174. Get great clearance deals now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.